In this video, we're going to be reviewing the Harbinger Berry B3415. Let's get started. So now let's look at the specs. On the top, we have the 3000 series badge on the top. On the bottom, we have our Harbinger logo and the little LED light. Normally, it is white meaning normal condition, red meaning that the speaker is clipping, and blue that you are using the Berry series app. On the back of the speaker, where is the plate amp, we have our DSP controls, which stands for Digital Signal Processing. We have our voicing, which we can set it to standard, club, speech, floor monitor, and custom, which uses the Berry series app to control your custom presets. Here we have our subcuts for an 18 or 12-inch sub if you do want to use a sub. Over here we have a hold to save LED and a preset button to tell you when to save your custom presets you set on the Berry series app. On the bottom of the DSP control, we have our input 1, which has a volume control, and a clip light to tell you when the audio signal is clipping because of that input. On the bottom of the volume control, we have our input preamp switch, which is mic, guitar, and line. Mic and guitar you already know since it's obvious, but the line input can be used if you're using the input connected to a mixer. This input offers an XLR/quarter-inch input, depending on your cables you use for your speaker. On the bottom of input 1, we have a charging port if you're charging your phone. Here we have input 2, which is the same thing as input 1. Input 3 has a quarter-inch TS for stereo. We have a aux, but if you're using your phone and you don't want to use wired connections, you can use the speaker using the Bluetooth. Here we have our off and on/pair buttons. Next to the inputs, we have our bass and treble knobs. I recommend putting the bass in the 4 o'clock position as this speaker lacks bass and I do want punchy bass. And keep the treble knob at the 12 o'clock position. And here we have a limit light to tell you when the speaker is clipping. When the speaker hits the clipping threshold, the amp will reduce the volume to prevent damage to the speakers or plate amp. On the bottom of the EQ knobs, we have our routing options for normal, stereo master, and link in. Normal is when you have a mixer or you're using this as a standalone unit. Stereo master tells the speaker that this will be the master unit if you are using it for stereo pairing called smart stereo. This is the master, so you use the link out. The link in mode tells the speaker that this speaker will function as the slave unit. From the master's link out, you connect the speaker by the link in. Now we're doing a sound test. Make sure to wear headphones for the best experience. Now we are doing our pros and cons of this speaker. The first pro I say is that it does have the Berry series control, which what you do is open the Berry series app and find your speaker. Then click connect. When you press connect, the light should be flashing blue. Once the correct speaker has its light flashing blue, tap confirm on the app. The light on the Berry speaker should be solid blue and you should have control with the DSP. Once you're done adjusting your EQ, you tap save, save voicing, select the voicing you want, and then press save, save preset, and now it's saved. When you're done connecting, press save preset, then disconnect, and it will disconnect. The second thing I like about the speaker that it protects itself if the speaker is clipping. The speaker indicates that the speaker is in a limit mode and is clipping by the light in the back and the front of the speaker. The third thing I like about this speaker is its sound quality and clarity, since it has a bigger waveguide. Now it's time for the cons. The first con is that the speaker lacks bass unless you turn up the EQ to the 4 o'clock position. And the second thing is that the plate amp does get hot if you play music even at a minimal volume. After using the speaker for an hour, I felt the back of the plate amp and looks like it is hot. It probably uses the plate amp's cover as a heatsink. Overall, this speaker performs great, especially for its $400 price point, and offers more features that the Mackie Thumps doesn't have, which is full DSP control. I do recommend this speaker for DJs, bands, etc. Please subscribe to the channel if you hadn't already, and thank you for watching, and have a great day.